Roger.
Can you clear and get started?
Okay, thank you. The start sequence 1 and 2 will be starting 1.
Roger, clear 1.
Starting engines. Roger.
Check.
Good, sir. Push that complete, requesting brakes on. Park brake on. Roger. Excellent. Confirming ground equipment is clear. Confirm, ground equipment. Roger, got 2 good starts. You cleared to disconnect all ground equipment and signals to the left. Thanks for your help. Roger, get up here, safe flight. All in.
Okay, after start checklist, please. Start checklist ATIs. Off. Now start checklist complete.
Sir.
Clean sighting.
Roger.
Flight control checks.
Full up. Full down. Neutral. Full left. Full right. Neutral. Full left. Full right. Neutral. Neutral. Flight control check complete.
Request taxi.
One line of runway 20, right taxiway Alpha, and have revised intermediate level when ready to copy.
Line up runway 20 by Alpha, and go ahead, Fiji 911.
Fiji 911 cancel this 3,000 feet intermediate level, class level 250.
Cancel the 3,000 feet intermediate level 2,000.
Fiji 911, right back correct.
And that's checked.
Check.
Right, clear.
Okay, clear line up, eh?
FM. 1 minute to go.
Check. Brake check. Right. The only changes is our departure, so you change the intermediate level to flight level 250, everything else is the same.
Check.
And from now on you can get my lines, thank you.
Sure.
Are we ready before takeoff checklist to the line?
One takeoff checklist, flight controls.
Checked.
Checked. Flight instruments.
Checked.
Check. Briefing.
Confirmed.
Flap setting.
Config 2.
Config 2. V1 via V2 thrust rating.
Check.
And checked. Squawk.
2000 set.
Down to the line.
Check, go ahead.
Below the line, takeoff runway.
Okay, we have 20 confirmed.
20 confirmed. Cabin crew.
Advised.
Back 1+2.
On.
Before takeoff check is complete.
Set. Right, now I can get my line set and we're cleared for line up, eh? 5 minutes is up.
Check. Right clear.
Left clear.
Shipping down for weekly check and make up its lead downwind.
Clear, sir. It's late down.
Shipping Alpha.
Ready, Captain.
Affirm.
Fiji 911 ready.
Fiji 911 Roger, line up in wait, traffic short files crossing runway.
Line up and wait, Fiji 911.
Parkway on.
Check.
Alpha, don't contact approach 190, small 1, clear to takeoff runway 20.
Clear for takeoff runway 20, airborne 1191, Fiji 911.
Check, ready?
Fiji 911.
Thank you.
Ready for short taxi by Bravo.
Take off. Main flags 54, SRS, auto thrust blue.
Check. Thrust set. Knots.
Check.
V1.
Rotate. Positive climb.
Gear up.
Gear up.
Nav.
Check.
Thrust decline, climb, auto thrust.
Check.
Flaps 1.
Speed check. Flap 1.
Flaps 0.
Speed check. Flap 0.
Autopilot 1. AB1.
Check.
Expecting a level change on route Fiji 911.
Altitude 20.
Check.
Confirm radio 048, DME 270.
Lights and signs. Clean the red nose and the fix. So we'll leave the secondary for now.
Roger.
As we say in Fijian, it's a greeting, Bulavinaka. Hi, my name is Captain Kuroi, and in the flight deck with me is Senior First Officer Elisa Wanganiwa Walangi, Mula, and Second Officer Kithi. Yeah. We're cruising now, level off at initial altitude 38,000 feet. Today is Thursday, the 18th of August. It's a morning flight, 9 o'clock local time in Fiji, 9 a.m. departure off to Sydney. So it's a Nadi Sydney flight. which we operate daily on 350-900 series, occasionally on the 330 on 330 flights as well, fleet. We just level off and dodges through some weather at 38,000 feet. Pretty much a headwind and some jet streams, of course, and some clear turbulences planned across to Sydney. Flight time is about 4 hours and 30 minutes. Today we've actually had a different route planned due to the clear turbulence that's evident to the eastern seaboard of Australia, and hence everybody's we're just following each other. There's a company aircraft who's going to Melbourne ahead of us. We're just telling each other on the north. Today our track brings us across to Noumea, and once we are established outside that cat area, we'll probably slide down the east coast of Australia into Sydney. Sydney itself, weather's fine. Forecasted today, and local time in Sydney at the moment, which is about UTC plus 10, about 2 hours behind Fiji, which is now 6 minutes past 8 a.m. Weathermen in Sydney forecast the weather to be fine for arrival, and most probably we have the operation runway 34 left and 34 right, preferably 34 left for us, as that'll give us a shorter ground time to Sydney. We are scheduled to arrive in Sydney. The scheduled arrival is 1:45. We're about 5 minutes early at this stage, and hopefully there'll be not too much of a delayed arrival to Sydney. As you know, things are picking up now post-COVID, and the traffic is pretty much picked up. So Sydney, we expect some hold. If not, we'll be lucky today. We'll go straight through the descent and easy transition onto a landing runway. Let me tell you a bit about myself. My name, once again, Captain Roy. I'm 42 years of age, and I started out very early in my career, straight out of high school, into flying school when I was 17 years old. I've been in the game since 1998, and when I first graduated from flying school, which is a local flying school in Fiji, by the way, Pacific Flying School, we went on straight to work for the domestic carrier. It's called AFG. Changed names throughout the years, AFG, Fiji Air, and then we went back to AFG. And I was pretty fortunate enough with to graduate and land a job in the first 6 months of graduation. And whilst joining AFG, I had a bonus where I met my wife as well, who is a captain on the 330, and we were paired up as training partners in AFG. We both came through the fleets. We started off as office work for about a year, in cleaning up the manuals and stuff, and then we landed our first job as first officers on the BN2A Islander, flying domestic routes inter-island throughout Fiji, and then we progressed on to the Y12, Harbin Y12, which is the Chinese version of the DH-6 de Havilland Twin Otter. Nice robust aircraft, and we after that we transitioned on to the EMB Brendaranti 110 P2, which is a nice aircraft, Brazilian made, flew domestic around here. We were fortunate enough that during our career we were seconded to other countries in the Pacific region, such as the Tongan Islands and Solomon Islands, which we were seconded and helped out in their domestic national carriers. Pretty good experience for us of domestic, and they're not too far off. We both progressed onto the national carrier, which was Air Pacific back in the days, and now called Fiji Airways. We started off in the second officer program on the 747-400, and then we transitioned on to the 737NG, and of course from there the 330, and then now the 350. It's now our 18th year in the company, and it seems like a lifetime. So that's what you get when you start too early. We love it. Flying is like it's just like a fix. Like, you know, you do it every day. I suppose you're probably doing this until we retire at 65. I'm so grateful that Fiji Airways Air Pacific has given me the opportunity to do what I love doing, which is flying, and to fly with very wonderful colleagues such as First Officer Elisa and Keith. Our fleet consists of locals and expats for the obvious reasons of shortage of crew. And yes, it's a good flying operation. We're pretty much in our region for a small island. We fly a lot more, probably 90% of the Pacific Islands, using our ATR 72 and 42 fleets, which is on our low domestic airline carrier, which is called Fiji Link. And on the NGs and the MAX, we used to fly to the other routes, the inter-island routes, the islands within the Pacific. And of course, we operate to New Zealand, two ports in New Zealand, three ports rather, Auckland, Wellington and Christchurch. And Australia, we operate to Brisbane, Sydney and of course Melbourne and Adelaide on a mix. We have sometimes used the MAX or the 330 and of course today the 350. And the routes we have opened up just recently, about 2 weeks ago, is Vancouver. We did that years and years ago on the 737 NG, but that got postponed for a couple of years, and now we're back on the Vancouver route. Los Angeles we do daily on the 350. Why not? It's a new aircraft. Passengers love it. They love the business class ride, the feel, and we use the 350 dailies on the Los Angeles route. We fly to San Francisco as well, and we fly to Hawaii on the MAX. We fly to Singapore, Hong Kong, and the Asian routes as well. So it's a pretty much dynamic route for a small airline, consisting of about 19 aircrafts. And we love it. Everybody loves it. And if you do come get yourself on the Fiji Airways, don't forget to say hi. We've got a lovely team of cabin crew that are always on the Bulla Smiles that we are known for. Fiji the Bulla Smile. And of course, yeah, what more can I say? Do you want to add anything?
Oh, I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay. Thank you.
Most probably. Yeah. And Second Officer Keith, yeah, I think he's got something to say. He's pretty much a chatty person. Well, we said, Bulla and welcome, and enjoy the rest of the flight. Probably another 4 hours. We'll be descending into Sydney, and we'll keep you updated. Thank you. All right. What we have in front of you are display screens. Let's begin with the left. This is the OIS, and this OIS gives us pretty much a picture of our navigation charts en route, and the charts that we land on or take off, or taxi route charts that gives us on the software, the Jefferson flight deck software. In it as well, there are a couple of other menus which we have. We have something called Aviobook, which we keep track on our flight plan. We've got a nav log. We've accepted what the company has given us for our fuel trip today, taxi fuel and our legal fuel to carry across to Sydney. And once we're happy with that, we cross-check it, and then we submit it that that's our fuel. And they in turn go out and work out what our performance, what we have today with regards to packs loading, cargo, and whatnot. The second is the nav log, which today is our nav log across to Australia, our waypoint, the actual route that we planned onto air traffic control and the actual route that we are flying now. We keep tabs on how much fuel we burn, if we do burn extra, and all other stuff that goes with it. The waypoints en route, airports that we cross en route, and we keep a tab on, basically it's a fuel monitoring process. We keep notes as well in what we have been cleared to, the conditions, we make a note for it for the audit purposes for a company. And of course the very last tab is the journey log, which captures the whole the journey from start to finish, and what we've burned, did we burn extra. And the journey log is for the company's records. And the other menu that I'm talking about is the FlySmart. FlySmart is pretty much what the modern 350, 330 fleets, three Airbus fleets work on. They work out our takeoff performances and cruise performances, descent and everything else, even on an engine out if we have an engine failure. And they work out all performances and all non-normals and of course normal as well. They work out our landing, they work out the factored landing and all the performances that we need that's relevant for us to be legal on performances on that day based on the conditions that are provided to us at the destination airport. On the left here, to the right of that, sorry, is the PFD, which gives us it's a very important instrument for us. It gives us the prime indications of what we are doing now. At the moment we're on level. Our speed, we've transitioned over to the Mach number or Mach speed. We're on pretty much on initial altitude, and it's telling us we're on altitude cruise. And at the moment we're just diverting, deviating off some weather en route. We're about almost 3 miles to the right of a 5-pen track just to avoid the weather, and we're on heading right now. Obviously 38,000 feet we have. Autopilot is flying us at the moment, autopilot 1, and conditions are pretty good on the cruise, not too much bumps. And on the right to that PFD is called the ND, the navigation display, is telling us where we are going and what conditions on the outside is telling us what we have. So we have a ground speed of about 404 knots. Obviously we have a head knot all the way to Sydney, about 53 knots, which is followed up by those jet streams. And the next waypoint is Messes, and we're tracking towards that right now. And obviously the ND description is where we're going. In the middle screen we've got our engine parameters. It's telling us 2 engines, the fuel burn, what we used, cabin pressure, what we have, the conditioned air, so what we have in the temperature. We've got about 23 degrees in the business class, and of course the all zones in the economy. The cockpit is 22. And from that up here, this is a new feature that we have, the person select, so we just give the person the freedom to select whatever temperature she wants in the cabin. And from that we have the MFD. We have our input, which is the long-term navigation, what we input in here, and it's a drop-down menu. We have a flight plan, the active legs that are here, which correlates to the navigation display of the ND, all the waypoints. The next drop-down menu is the performance. We've got all the performances here, from takeoff, climb, cruise, descent, approach, and of course if we do a go-around, everything is in the MFD. And fuel and load is what we incorporate our figures, our final figures, with regards to our load and passengers, and then it works out everything entirely from that. Winds, current winds, we upload winds from the company, and it gives us an accurate tracking of our fuel and of course our estimates in all the waypoints leading up to and destination as well. The other stuff are just good stuff like GPS, tells us even how many satellites we have and what it's running off. So at this stage, if I do select the GNSS, and it tells us we've got about number of satellites that are tracking our flights, which is pretty much accurate at this stage. On this modern day navigation equipment, it's pretty much so accurate with regards to navigation. And of course the real other goodies like time, you can put in time markers and time differences between the countries. That's about it on this panel here. In the middle here it's called the glare shield and the FCU and the EFIS panels. This is pretty much the short term. So this is the long term navigation, this is the short term. If there's anything I want a snapshot right now, I just activate it here and the aircraft will do it. And it's called the short term navigation. And that's pretty much it. All the other goodies we can select up here. And from that we go on to the overhead panel, which gives us our the conditions of our packs or air, our electrics, our fuel pumps, pretty much our primary stuff that we got on board, hydraulics, and of course our fire panel. And Airbus has the philosophy of like a dark cockpit. Everything is dark. If you see a light coming up on one of these panels, then obviously something is up. So we deal with problem and then make sure that all this panel up is all dark most of the time. That's about it on the generally on the overhead panel. And then we have the center panel up here, which we have our goodies, our radio panels. We have our ground spoilers or speed brakes, our park brake, the main boy, which is our thrust, detents. This is the control to the engines, how to start them, and then controls everything else with regards to fuel and our flaps and whatnot. We've got 3 radio panels which operate VHF to air traffic control, and this is the way we control it from. Pretty much that's it. On the side, if you don't see it, we've got our oxygen panel, just in case we have an emergency descent due to depressurization. That's the one we put in. We got 2 on the sides, obviously the captain, the first officer, and 1 for the observer number 1 and observer number 2, sorry. That's about it. In general, I mean, anything you want to add?
I'm good.
Yeah, so back to the update. We just cleared that weather and looking ahead of us. It's pretty much going to be a clear run from here, apart from the clear air turbulence that's forecasted. So, yep. Right. So last night as we were monitoring the weather, unusual phenomenon that happens once in a while, and this time it's been around in the east coast of Australia for about a month or 2. To today, we have like 2 jet streams that's doing a curveball on us. There's the other one that comes this way, and there's the inner one that right in the middle here is forecasted to be severe turbulence. So if it gone direct to Sydney, we'll be right in that that bad turbulence or that bad mother. So we did a bit of planning last night and this morning. So we just took up the Brisbane route, which we call it. We came via New Mare, which we're about in a couple of minutes, and then come up to north, just to Beam Townsville, and then we'll come down the Brisbane route there and just hug the east coast of Australia into Sydney. That's probably the best plan of attack at the moment. Basing on our company aircraft that just departed Sydney about 2 hours ago, they say it's not too bad, so that's probably the best course of action rather than going direct and meeting the severe turbulence inside. There'll be a bit of bumps, add up to moderate, but we'll take the least bumps for the comfort of the passengers. So that was the plan of attack today. So there's our Melbourne flight, which is MAX as well, 73 MAX. They've given us our reports that it wasn't too bad at the moment. So they'll be updating us with the weather up ahead all the way to Sydney and whatnot. So yeah, we'll keep you updated. Thank you.
The MFD is programmed 3-4 left are the active one, and on the secondary we've got 3-4 right.
Check.
On a secondary 2, huh?
Check.
Onwards to Sydney at this stage, and we're with center. Plan wise, we got about 360 kilos up.
Check.
And a minute behind.
Check. You still give control? I'll give you the brief, eh?
Thank you. Still have control.
Okay, we'll start with the star, Marlin 5. Got to 12, 10-2 Bravo. This chart effective of 24th March, 10-2 Bravo.
Check.
So from 3-4 left, which will require to ask them, eh?
Yeah, 3-4 left.
From Marlin. We got direct to Whale, 264 to Bikers. My apologies. And then Bikers, we got a speed limit for air above 8,000. Sorry, height limit. And a speed limit 250 below 10 for Australian airspace, unless they ask you for high speed. At this stage we won't because of the turbulence. We'll stick with the current econ descent speed. And Bikers to Whale, Whale to Prawn, where Whale is 9,000 and below, or at or below, and Prawn at 6,000 and above. So all the weights, all the heights restrictions are there. And then we pick up Sausage for the approach. Things to note that ATC approach speeds 185 to 160 at 10 miles. 160 to 150 at 5 miles, which is at the final approach fix, I suppose, for RTED. So the chart we transition on to the ILS is 11-5, 4th Feb 22. We're expecting ILS 110.10 India Sierra November, and
Check.
the pertinent points 335 is the final approach track, 1900 at RTED, which we have, and MSA is 2700 within 25, 2100 within 10 miles. On the approach, establish the approach of anything intercept the glide path from the top. We make sure we're pretty geared down, flaps 2. We establish on the localizer, approach arm, and then go VS about 1500 to 2000 feet per minute, depending. Other than that, if it comes at some stage, we're told by tower that we have to go around or we're unstable. Let's look ahead. It'll be toggle bump back to this, go around flap.
I'll select flap 1 stage up and announce.
And so it'll be man go around soft. It'll be SRS and nav auto thrust blue.
Checked. Positive climb.
Gear up, and if nav's not there, we'll manage nav. Actually to nav, manage nav. And if I'm already disconnected, actually to engage autopilot at some stage.
Roger.
Roger. Otherwise, if it's a normal landing, we transition onto runway 34 or left chart, oh sorry, the airport chart. And set, boxes cancelled, flight level 400. And as briefed, Mountain 5, runway 34 left. So we'll land on 34 left, Alpha 2, we'll take the taxi as it comes. BTV is programmed for Alpha 2, and the limitations within 35 meters has been checked. Dry 6. That's the C2F brief. Those are the charts, the post charts, and the landing charts, or the taxi charts, or the 10-9s. Weather-wise, as briefed, severe turbulence at 390, it's posing out at 360, weather in Sydney is fine as well. Check information, just updated on this one here. Yep.
That's the latest one, November.
And terrain, MSA is briefed at 2700 feet, 2100 feet within 10. Operations wise, we know about the MELs that don't affect us, only on the starter. And what else? No other MELs that affect us, CDLs or no temps. And other than that, we'll just keep an eye on each other to the busy Sydney airport. And of course, fuel wise, we got about 8.7. We made a lot of fuel, 1.5 tons. And fuel and loads, we've got about 6.2, 1 hour, 12 minutes extra. So,
thank you.
Alright, any questions?
No questions, Captain.
Alright, set. We'll just continue with the flying. Once we're in the smooth, then I'll do the PA.
Sure.
Set. Top of the descent is coming up now, what, 13, another 12 minutes, If it gets worse, then we'll just descend early.
AFM.
Set. I have control.
You have control.
NACA cruise nav AP1.
Checks. Speed selected.
Checked.
Transition altitude. Canadian set 1015, passing 10,800 now. Check no difference. Engine ETIs 0,000.
Vital signs. And approach checklist when you're ready. Good, approach one.
Primary. Approach checklist briefing.
Confirmed.
RRF.
Check 1015 set.
Units 1015 set. Minimum.
220 set.
Mirror 220 set. Approach check is complete.
Should be good. That's amount is good. L star heading 262.
Check.
Helped.
Check. On the go.
and L2000 blue.
Check.
Flaps 1.
Speed check. Flip 1.
Cover me for 185, 160.
Roger.
Never run me inside. Once just the call visual on at the moment.
Clear for the Alice runway 34 left approach Fiji 911 Navy.
Heading 360.
Direct.
Localizer lock.
Check.
Lock blue, lock blue, eh?
Check.
And once it's set to localizer, clear for the Alice approach.
Echo.
Target 160 to 155.
Check. Glass loops alive.
Check.
Senior Sierra November.
Lobster.
Check.
Flaps 2.
Speed check. Flap 2.
We're establishing the localizer, clear for the approach, eh?
Echo.
Yes, 3 LGS, Lockstar, land 3, dual AP182. Speed managed. GS star, check. No run L2 3000 set.
Check.
Fiji 911, g'day, after landing north through and vacate. At this stage we'll be on the crossing runway, main up in Gulf. I'll let you know when you're on the ground. The wind 310 at 8, runway 34 left, clear to land. Clear land runway 34 left, and copy Fiji 911 Navy.
Reynolds alive.
Right, GS no 3000, no run L2 set, eh? Just a reminder. Yeah, that's alive. So let us know once you touch down.
Echo. He said right now it's the intersection in the other
Set. Makes sense. Get down.
Get down. At red. 1900 on profile.
Flap 3.
Speed check. Flap 3.
Set.
1014 set.
Flap 2 landing checklist.
Speed check. Flap 4. Landing checklist. Cabin crew.
Advised.
Auto thrust.
Speed.
Auto brake.
BTV blue.
Runway condition.
And ground try 6.
The landing check is complete.
Checks. Right. Disengaging it.
Checks. I'll give you
Road 1.
1014 set. And checked.
Just confirming landing clearance. Ready.
Echo. Stable.
Continue.
500.
Stable.
Continue.
Above.
Check.
Minimum.
Continue.
Check.
Retard.
Spoilers. Check. Reverse screen. Decel. Want to bring this engaged there?
Still keep rolling.
Yeah, keep rolling.
No Alpha 2.
Right, clear. 1, 2, 6, 5.
And then A350, Fiji 911 Nadi. Getting 141 Sierra, ready taxi.
Where's corners?
Gallon 141 Sierra.
They're moving it.
Yeah. Right, clear. Qantas 330.
Right.
Taxi.
Oh, they look heavy. A36 is the first one.
Right, clear.
latest warners. Checklist when you're ready.
After landing, checklist complete.
What's we got? 2 minutes.
Yeah, 3 minutes upcoming.
So the idle reverse. Okay. And brake fans on.
Brake fans on. 2 minutes ago, sir.
Checks. Check. Taxi light off.
Taxi light off.
You see a 350 900?
Okay, 350.
Checks.
Bay 36, green light.
Checks. Very good.
Yeah, 5 minutes.
5 minutes.